What's up, gang? Welcome to another episode of the Grindcast. Simon here. Let's jump right into it. The leader must give up in order to go up. So what I'm going to be breaking down today is what I call my Bible in leadership, which is, the 21 laws of irrefutable leadership. Or the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership, whichever way you say it. But so I think I've thrown out there that I do, I try to stay on Proverbs daily. I'll try to rip a proverb a day. I've been doing that for over a decade. My centerpiece, my go back to in leadership is the 21 laws, and it's I can't think of a book that has stuck out to me more in my growth and development in leadership and leading others than the 21 laws. So the one that I'm going to pull out today to dig into is what John Maxwell calls the law of sacrifice, which I believe is the 18th law of the 21 laws. So what that states is it states that a leader must give up in order to go up. Okay, so if you look at the history of great nations, it shows that behind their greatness is men, women, and others that are willing to pay the price that others won't pay. I have a friend that I met with today for breakfast. His name's Brandon, and he sacrificed, I believe, for our opportunity. He doesn't have his legs currently, makes the most of it, and is just killing life out there after fighting overseas to create the opportunity for us that we all have. And so first of all, shout out to my man Brandon, and thank you. But there's people that built this country. Based on their sacrifice, we have all of these opportunities. Your grandparents, you look at some people's grandparents and people that traveled from other countries to come here and sacrificed, and it's just, you can't really get the levels of success that you want for yourself or for others, more importantly for others, without sacrificing. So the law of sacrifice says that you cannot get something that you want without giving up something in return. Okay, in order to attain something, you like if you want to gain something that's of greater value, you must be able to give up something that you believe is of a little bit of lesser value temporarily. Okay, so understand that there is no success where there's no sacrifice. So if we're not gonna give up, okay, in order to continually succeed in life, you have to be willing to do the things that other people are not willing to do. Period. Without sacrifice, we ain't gonna be able to take it to the next level. Leaders are often asked to give up. Like if you're in a leadership position, it's different. It's like parenting. Leaders are often asked to give up more than others. So let's think of like, what does this all mean? I could just look from I gave an example for our military. I could think of my own household, my home. My wife sacrifices at times sleep to allow me at times to be able to get some extra rest so I could go out there and create opportunity. As a parent, you're always sacrificing for your kids. And, in work, people think that I like to get up early in the morning. One of my favorite things to do throughout the course of a week, and I believe as a leader, every leader should be doing. I don't care if you're the leader of your high school basketball team. If you're a leader, I think you need to be pouring into other people, adding value to other people, serving other people. That means you have to have something in order to serve them with. You have to have something in order to give them something. So one of my favorite things to do is more often than not in the mornings, I'm shooting out messages, motivation, education to some folks that I mentor and I have the privilege of mentoring. That only happens because I'm up pouring into myself. I don't know about you, but for me, once it's about 8 o'clock in the morning, I'm getting emails, texts, calls, everything. It's like the New York Stock Exchange all day long. 4, 5 o'clock, forget it. By the time it's 4 or 5 o'clock, after I've done years of 80-hour work weeks, 70-hour work weeks, I'm at a place where some of these days I can go home at 4 or 5 o'clock and try to zone in the best I can to spend some time with the kids or come home and do some things with my wife or the family. And so I believe that's their time now. And so before that, what I've had to do is I've had to sacrifice some sleep. I don't want to get up at 5. I want to get up at 4:30. Love sleep until 8, 9. But if I don't do that, I can't work out in the morning. So I have to sacrifice so I can get my health right. I have to sacrifice so I can read some books, take in some podcasts, fill myself up so I can fill up everybody else throughout the day. And so these are some I've had to sacrifice my ego, okay, in order to take things to the next level. Like sometimes when you meet people, I remember meeting a few children in my youth program that I try to help build and grow in Youngstown. But, often when people meet kids, they feel like they got to immediately check them. And so in my process of trying to build a relationship, I had to humble myself, understanding these kids were coming from a different environment. And so I took a step back instead of snapping out a couple times. In the beginning phases, instead of all correction, I tried to give them love, which took humility. And so there's times where you're going to have to sacrifice your ego in relationships in order to go up, with people. You're going to have to sacrifice what you want to do. Like, if you have a small investment, it's very difficult to get a large return. And so there's this whole thing about everybody wants the American dream, okay? They want to have money to be able to send kids to the best schools, travel, health, everything they want to do. But they also want a boatload of time, too. They want to have a bunch of time, weekends off, no evenings, all that stuff. In my experience of watching others in my own walk is, if I want to get a lot of money back, I need to give a pretty good substantial investment of money in order to get a big return. Like if I invest $1 million and I get a 10% return, I get $100,000 back. If I invest $100 and I get a 10% return, I'm going to get $10 back. So typically, if you're smart, the bigger investment, the bigger the return. And then what happens is, if you save and invest your money wisely, then there comes a time where your investments can pay for your life and you no longer need to make those types of investments. I think time is the exact same way. So in my experience, you have to give up time from things that you want to do. So it may be weekends, it may be evenings, it may be vacations, it may be not your kid's birthday, but maybe your kid's friend's birthday, your aunt's best friend's birthday. Like these unnecessary things, you got to sacrifice not going to those things. You have to sacrifice some time right now, depending on where you're at in the process, and grind. And if you give up a lot of time, if you give up a lot of weekends, if you give up a lot of birthday parties, if you give up these things, in my experience, if you sow, then you reap. And so then there comes a point in time where you reap all of those things. And it's not as long as you think. You reap all of those things. Now all of a sudden you work no weekends. You don't have to work the weekend. You don't have to work all those hours. You can be at all the birthday parties. But up front, there's this heavy investment to build something special that will sustain that. And the problem is people want this life that's created from that level of grind, but they don't want to first up front put in all the work, all the hours, all the sowing. You can't worry about what you're going to reap. Just keep sowing. And so one of the key things I could think of is just the time, the time commitment. Sacrificing what you like to do versus what you need to do. So you like to, when I first started in business, I was young. People going out to bars, Saturday nights, going out happy hour, sacrificing them, not going to none of them. I mean, I'm single. I wasn't married. I'm not going to them. I'm not going out all the time. So I'm sacrificing that, okay, up front, short term. So long term, I will be able to create more opportunity. So I want you guys to think of, like, what are some areas that you need to sacrifice in, whether it's physically, you need to sacrifice not eating this junk food in order to get this type of body, health, physique. You need to sacrifice not going to hang out with these people, even though it's fun, in order to create more opportunity for yourself down the road. Like, there's always going to be sacrifice, which nobody likes to do. I want to say nobody, but most people don't like to do, in order to take yourself to the next level. And then understand that success is rented and it's due every day. The price is just different. So in order to stay up, you got to keep sacrificing, but it's a different sacrifice. Once you have certain levels of success, like the work that it takes for you to learn a skill, like to catch a pass, okay, in football. As a kid, you know how many passes you got to throw at somebody in order for a kid to just make a basic? Well, once you learn how to catch that pass, you already know how to do that. Now you just got to keep working at it. If you want to be great, if you want to go to the next level, you keep taking it up to the next level. So if you want to keep going up, you can reach a level where you're good. But if you want to keep going up, understand the more sacrifices that you got to make. The higher level of leadership, typically the higher sacrifice that you're going to have. See, when you look at, quote, successful people, and I don't want you guys to think that I mean this financially, because I don't. I mean this in a skill that you develop. I mean this in your grades. This can be in all different levels of what people define as success, not just financially. But the unsuccessful people, okay, versus the successful people, if you were to separate those and look at their daily routine and their daily habits, I think that like the unsuccessful or the average would be separated. Almost one of those big lanes in the highway would be sacrifice. So like the normal, they just eat whatever they want to eat. These people try to follow a certain level of diet. These people don't work out if they don't want to feel like working out. These people will force themselves to work out. These people stop learning and reading and growing themselves because they don't like to. These people are continual learners, growers, always finding new ways to get better. These people won't sacrifice their friendships and relationships with people that are toxic. These people will start to sacrifice relationships and people, even if it's uncomfortable, in order to go to the next level. These people, okay, we'll call them the normal level that can't take it to the next level. They love sleep. These people may sacrifice an hour or two here and there to get an edge on the competition. And these people over here, they want it. They may take a vacation now. These people hold off on the vacation for a few years and save and grind and pour into themselves. And so I think you guys are getting the picture of this whole thing. That it's about what you do regularly sacrificing, like creating this lifestyle. It's always this rhythm. It's always this rhythm. What am I willing to give up right now in my comfort zone that's going to take me to the next level? Like as I'm older, as I'm aging at 35, I don't recover after hardcore banging and workouts like I did at 20. So what am I sacrificing? Man, I'm investing into more supplements. I'm doing dry needling. I'm doing all this stuff with the doctor that can extend the amount of energy that I'm going to be able to put out for the next 10, 15 years. So there's things that you have to be willing to do. That's time. That's money. That's the investment of research. These are all things that sacrifice in order to create a better opportunity over there. And so it's always this short term, what do I have to do right now that I don't feel like doing, that I don't feel like giving up, that's going to help me 5 years from today? That's going to help me get what it is that I want. So think about yourself right now. What are the things that you know, and I always find power and strength to a pen and a paper. Like I like to write things down. Old school. Like I'll sit there and write some things down. Like put pen to paper. What are the things that you know you need to sacrifice in order to take it to the next level? What are the things that you need to sacrifice in order to take it to the next level? Write those things down. I need to sacrifice this, that. Make a whole list and then create a game plan. Here's what some unsuccessful people will tell you. Because what I'm most proud of and what I'm most encouraged by is that not only have I had the blessing and opportunity to be a father to 3 children right now myself, married, but I also have the opportunity to be surrounded by people in business that are also, not all, I have young folks I'm mentoring, 17, 18, all the way up. But I'm surrounded by people that are also married and have kids and things and different things. But I think what some unsuccessful people think, or what has been pounded into people's head, is that you can't have both. Like you can't be super successful and sacrifice and still have healthy relationships and healthy things over here. What I will tell you, is it hard? Absolutely. It's exhausting to be great. So yes, it's hard. Yes, there's a price. But is it possible? Absolutely. Absolutely. I know a bunch of people that don't do nothing. They don't work 40 hours a week and they still fail in their marriage. They still fail as a parent. They still fail in these areas. So it's not just the grind or the sacrifice that makes you bad. You have to organize and compartmentalize your life in order to get all of this stuff done. And there's 168 hours in a week. So this is going hand in hand with what is it that you want to sacrifice? What is it that you need to sacrifice? Your attitude, your ego? What needs to be sacrificed right now? Because there ain't no way for you to get to the top. There ain't no way to take it up to the next level. There is no way without sacrificing. Here's the way that I've always looked at this stuff. Is there a chance that 2 years somebody won't be here? 5 years somebody won't be here? You only live once? I get all that. Of course. There's a chance I could go to the casino right now, hit the thing, put $5 in it, and hit $150,000 on the slot machine. Not likely though. So I'm going to play the odds. And if the odds say maybe we'll be blessed with another 40 years on earth, I'm willing to sacrifice some things that make me uncomfortable right now. 3 years, 5 years, whatever. So that 30 years from today looks better. 15 years from today looks better. 20 years from today looks better. Because it's very easy to connect the dots looking backwards, but it's hard to connect the dots looking forward. So I'm trying to look forward and take a peek, and I'm thinking, what do I want for my grandchildren? Hope it ain't no time soon. But like, what's going to happen in 20 years, 30 years when I'm a grandfather? What do I want? I'm willing to sacrifice in order to create opportunity there. Currently, I'm digging into different charitable organizations in Pittsburgh and in Youngstown and other areas. Sacrificing time, sacrificing. But I'm looking at, what am I going to sacrifice in order to help create an opportunity for other people? What are we willing to give up on our end in order to help those people go up? Because I'm aware of this concept and principle that there is no success without sacrifice. And so I'm gonna leave it right here. I'm gonna leave it here for you right now. You have to make a decision right now how great you want to be. Okay? See, if you're afraid to go all in, talk to some people that are where you want to be and ask them how. I know some of the people that I know that have the best marriages, that are the best parents, are also mentors of mine in business that grind and have sacrificed for years. It's not just people that have all this time on their hands. Those are the only ones that are successful in life. Like, if it was that simple, all the people, they'd have a study out that said all the people that go and only work 30 hours or 40 hours or don't work at all those people that don't sacrifice a ton, all those people have success in their marriages as parents, and all the people that work 60 plus hours don't. There is no study like that. I think people are going to be what people are. You can make excuses about it. You can find cop-outs about it. But at the end of the day, you need to figure out how great you want to be. How great you're committed to being. And I promise you, in 168 hours, you can get it all done. But you got to schedule it. Like, does a bodybuilder come in to a workout facility and say, I'm going to work out for the next hour and a half and have zero schedule, zero plan? I don't think so. Are those people thinking about how many macros and micros and how many carbs and proteins they're taking in? Absolutely. There's a plan. You have to have a plan with your weekly schedule if you're going to be taking your life to the next level, because it's going to take sacrifice. No way around it. No way around it. You have to figure out how good do you want to be? How great you want to be? What level do you want to go to? What are you willing to give up? I want to know, what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to give up? What price are you willing to pay? Because there ain't going to be a discount on this sucker. So you have to understand, what are you willing to give up in order to go up? But I'm telling you, if you have kids out there, you have other things going, I don't claim to know it all. I don't get it all right. I'm not perfect. I'm just a human being. But here's my experience in my study of others that do it the right way. In 168 hours, you schedule, how much time am I going to put into my children this week? What is the investment that mommy or daddy needs to make with them? What are those? And you draw it out. And you may figure out, okay, I'm going to do this with them. I'm going to do that with them. I'm going to go to this practice. I'm going to work with them this day. You put it all down, it might be 20 hours. Like undivided, well, there's still 148 hours left. If you slept for 48, you still got 100 hours left. What is your excuse that you can't grind? Because of the kids? No, you just gave that time. Oh, so I need to invest into my relationship, my marriage. Okay, good. How much time do you need there? Plan it out. Map it out. Maybe that's 20 hours of like undivided attention. I don't even know if my wife wants my undivided attention for 20 hours. Like 20 hours, I still got 80 hours. If I intentionally plan out what I'm going to do, working out, this, that, but I might have to wake up at 5. Alarm clock, I might have to go to bed at 9, 10. I might have to have discipline in some of these areas, but you schedule it out, and there's more than enough time to do it all. You can do it. You can do it. But you got to sacrifice maybe that 1 hour of sleep. You got to sacrifice, I don't like to plan. I don't like to write things down. You might have to sacrifice a half hour on a Sunday and write down everything for the week. That's a sacrifice. You don't want to write it down. You don't feel like writing it down for a half an hour. That's a sacrifice. But that 30 minutes of sacrifice opens up hours in your schedule this upcoming week because you're not wasting time because you have no plan. So I want you to cut the excuses, make the necessary sacrifices that it's going to take in order to take you and others to the next level, whatever those may be. Write down the price that you know it's going to cost. What's the price? What are you willing to pay? What things do you have to give up right now in order to go up? What are the things you got to give up right now? Is it a toxic relationship? Is it a friendship? Is it a girl? Is it a man? Is it the approval of others? Is it an hour of sleep? Is it your undesire, you not having the desire to read books or listen to podcasts or audiobooks? What are these things that you need to give up in order to go up? And I want you to get to it right now. Get moving right now. The best time to plant a tree was yesterday. The second best time, today. Like if you didn't get to it yesterday, let's go. Let's start making the sacrifices right now. We ain't got to wait till Monday. We ain't got to wait till a new month. We ain't got to wait till New Year's. Like, let's make a resolution. Because I'm telling you, this is a law of sacrifice. Like, we don't get to make the laws. I'm telling you, it's a law. There isn't no way to go up. There isn't any way to create these opportunities without sacrifice. More sacrifice, more success. Face it. You can do it all. You can have it all. You can be it all if you're willing to give up in order to go up. Thanks for joining us on another episode of the Grindcast. If you find value in this stuff, please share it. Subscribe right now so we can document. We keep hitting top 60, top 70 in the country right now, podcasts in our first month or two out. The goal is right now to crack the top 50. And so that only happens by people subscribing and sharing. If you found this to be of any value, try to share it for me and make sure people are subscribing so we can all change our piece of the world. Grind team, appreciate you and talking to you soon.